For the X-Men, the boundary between heroism and villainy is often blurred. Their journey includes gradual slips into malevolence and unexpected shifts in allegiance. Many of the X-Men's renowned members have at one time opposed the team, while numerous key mutant adversaries have aligned with the X-Men. Yet, few mutants navigate the divide between heroism and villainy as distinctly as Emma Frost, the White Queen. Whether she's pursuing her own interests or endeavoring to protect future mutant generations, Frost consistently acts according to her own moral compass, indifferent to whether her actions categorize her as a hero or a villain. From her volatile relationship with Cyclops to the numerous mutants she has guided, let's delve deeper into Emma Frost and her transformation from the White Queen of the Hellfire Club to a pivotal leader among the X-Men. When Emma Frost first appeared in Uncanny X-Men issue 129, she was already an adept telepath and the White Queen of the Hellfire Club. Before joining this elite circle, she renounced her family's wealth to carve her own path. Emma held various jobs and sharpened her telepathic abilities and cutthroat perspective until Sebastian Shaw welcomed her into the top ranks of the Hellfire Club, as recounted in X-Men Origins, Emma Frost issue 1. As Shaw assumed the role of the Hellfire Club's Black King, Emma took on the mantle of the White Queen, joining him in the Inner Circle, a faction of powerful mutants who dominated the organization. With her capabilities and business savvy, Frost established Frost Enterprises, a vast conglomerate in technology and transportation that amassed her wealth. Driven by a lifelong ambition to educate, Frost also founded the Massachusetts Academy, where she educated young mutants, shaping them to benefit the Hellfire Club. As the White Queen of the Hellfire Club, Emma Frost clashed with the X-Men numerous times before she eventually became a supporter of the team. Emma's first notable clash with the mutant heroes occurred when she and Professor X both sought to enlist a young Kitty Pryde for their respective schools. After abducting and inflicting physical pain on several X-Men, Emma was overpowered by the Phoenix in the early stages of the Dark Phoenix Saga in Uncanny X-Men issue 131. In an attempt to undermine the X-Men from within, Emma temporarily exchanged bodies with Storm until the Master of Weather reversed the switch. The White Queen devoted a lot of her time to training her group of young mutants, the Hellions, and made several failed attempts to persuade young X-Men like Pride, Cypher, and Firestar to join them. Despite the Hellions' competition with the New Mutants, Frost collaborated with a then-heroic Magneto to assist the young protégés of Xavier's school in overcoming the harrowing events of Secret Wars 2. Yet, an assault by the time-traveling assassin Trevor Fitzroy resulted in the majority of the Hellions perishing and left Emma in a comatose state in Uncanny X-Men issue 281. After recuperating at the X-Mansion, Emma Frost began to collaborate more closely with the X-Men, guiding new mutant generations before formally becoming a member of the team. Having briefly controlled Iceman, the White Queen joined forces with Banshee and Creed to rescue Jubilee and other young mutants from the Phalanx aliens during the Phalanx Covenant crossover in Uncanny X-Men issue 316. Once the threat was neutralized, those young mutants formed Generation X, a group coached by Emma and Banshee at the re-established Massachusetts Academy. While Emma thrived in her role as a mentor to this team of X-Men trainees, the group disbanded after Emma's sister Adrian murdered Synch, one of her students, prompting Emma to retaliate by killing her sister. During a catastrophic Sentinel assault on the mutant haven of Genosha, the White Queen underwent a secondary mutation that enabled her to transform her physique into Unbreakable Diamond, as seen in New X-Men issue 116. Emma then aligned with the X-Men and assumed a teaching role at the Xavier Institute, which was adapting to a surge of new human and mutant enrollees. Significantly, Emma took under her wing the Stepford Cuckoos, 5 young telepaths born from the Weapon Plus program, who are genetically her offspring. Upon her integration into the X-Men, the White Queen started a psychic affair with Cyclops, who was at that time married to Jean Grey. Following the deaths of 2 Cuckoos and the near closure of the Xavier Institute, Emma and Cyclops relaunched the school and commenced a romantic relationship, endorsed and supported by the late Jean Grey. With Jean absent and Professor X focused on reconstructing Genosha, Emma assumed the role of the primary telepath for the X-Men and became one of their prominent public representatives in Astonishing X-Men issue 1. Despite reservations from Kitty Pryde and other former adversaries within the X-Men, she proved to be an adept headmaster, directly overseeing a select group of pupils known as the Hellion Squad. After the Scarlet Witch stripped many of the world's mutants of their powers in the events of House of M, Emma psychically beckoned the world's mutants to unite with her, Cyclops, and the other X-Men at their new stronghold in San Francisco. Due to her history of criminal activities, the White Queen was recruited into the Cabal, a secretive council akin to the Illuminati established by Norman Osborn. In his capacity as the leader of the shield-like agency Hammer, Osborn appointed Emma to command the Dark X-Men, a squad of mutant enforcers loyal solely to him. Upon uncovering Osborn's acts of mutant persecution, Emma disclosed her genuine allegiance and aided the X-Men in combating Osborn, leading to the formation of a new mutant sanctuary called Utopia. When the X-Men divided into separate factions, Emma sided with Cyclops and his aggressive extinction team on Utopia, as depicted in a later issue of Uncanny X-Men. Following a long period as a hero, Emma Frost reverted to a more antagonistic role during Avengers vs. X-Men, where she became one of 5 mutants to harness the corrupting cosmic energy of the Phoenix Force. As Emma and her colleagues attempted to remodel the world using their newfound power, a Phoenix-empowered Cyclops usurped her portion of the Phoenix Force, complicating their romantic ties. Nevertheless, Emma continued to collaborate with Cyclops and a small group of his students after he turned into a fugitive mutant leader in Uncanny X-Men. Even with her strained relationship with Cyclops, Emma reached a breaking point following his death from Mpox, a mutant ailment caused by exposure to the Terrigen Mist of the Inhumans. Driven by sorrow, Emma orchestrated a conflict between the X-Men and the Inhumans and engineered anti-Inhuman Sentinels in Inhumans vs. X-Men. During the Secret Empire saga, when a Hydra-affiliated Captain America doppelganger seized control of the United States, Emma negotiated a deal with him to govern New Tian, a designated mutant sanctuary in California. Upon discovering that the Mothervine virus could induce unstable mutations, Emma initially participated in a scheme to disseminate it worldwide, but later allied with the X-Men to prevent its deployment. Emma cunningly coerced the X-Men into aiding her conquest of the Hellfire Club in X-Men Black, Emma Frost Issue 1. Despite assuming the mantle of the new Black King, Emma found herself coerced into serving the Anti-Mutant Agency 1. Yet, she continued to discreetly support a revived Cyclops in clandestinely rebuilding the X-Men from a distance. When Professor X and Magneto united the world's mutants to establish the nation of Krakoa, Emma Frost was among the inaugural recruits. For the benefit of Krakoa's youthful mutants, Emma consented to rebrand her enterprises into the Hellfire Trading Company, tasked with exporting Krakoan pharmaceuticals as outlined in Powers of X Issue 5. In return, the Hellfire Trading Company secured 3 seats on the Quiet Council, the assembly of 12 leaders who rule the nation. While Sebastian Shaw occupied 1 seat to manage the company's underground operations, Emma took another and assigned the final seat to Kitty Pryde, who then navigated the globe to rescue mutants as the captain of the Marauders. Apart from aiding Pryde and thwarting Shaw's plots, Emma's main focus in Krakoa was orchestrating the Hellfire Gala, an annual festivity attended by notables and marked by significant declarations such as the introduction of a new X-Men lineup. This priority shifted when Emma discovered that Moira McTaggart, a long-standing ally of the X-Men, had covertly influenced Krakoa's creation using insights from alternate lifelines she had experienced. Following the White Queen's disclosure of Moira's actions to the Quiet Council, Moira aligned with the mutant-averse faction Orcus, which then executed a catastrophic and deadly assault on Krakoa during the Third Hellfire Gala. With the majority of mutants either deceased or unaccounted for, Emma rallied the remaining X-Men to defend against Orcus's Stark Sentinels. Later, assuming the guise of a human named Hazel Kendall, Emma married Tony Stark as part of a scheme to thwart Orcus and secure the future. Despite her earlier antagonistic role, Emma now stands again as a staunch defender of mutant-kind's destiny. If you enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please hit the like and subscribe buttons to help me continue to grow this small channel. Thanks.